Recently, there is some discussion we have entered into with one of our partners and friend, United Kingdom, something to do with migration. I know it has caused another confusion, and I want to explain it to you.
Welcome back to our channel. We want to thank you for watching us from wherever you're watching us from around the world. On this episode today, we are looking at why Rwanda is under fire. Recently, you've been paying attention over the news, you realize that Rwanda came under fire, heavy fire from the global community, and especially from Africans in particular. In this video, the Rwanda's position has been made clear by the leader of that country and also where the UK stands. Now, recently, Rwanda's accepted to take refugees that are coming from the UK.
Most significantly, perhaps, this deal with Rwanda that you've mentioned. Anyone, according to Boris Johnson, who's arrived illegally in the UK since January 1st could be subject to this new deal where they could be relocated to Rwanda. They're calling it the Migration and Economic Development Partnership. Boris Johnson, a little bit fuzzy on the detail on it in the speech, essentially saying people in genuine need will get access to legal services in Rwanda, be able to make asylum claims there. We understand that this would apply to mostly men arriving in the UK on their own under the age of 40. Now, if those asylum claims are successful, those people would get asylum in Rwanda, not in the United Kingdom. The UK government investing the equivalent of about 140 million euros into this partnership. This issue.
We've talked about this, about migration and traveling to live in Europe and things like that. There are a number of Africans who are selling their property, their land, and all kinds of things to put money together just to migrate to Europe. Like I've always said, that Europe is not the answer. There are a number of things. Traveling to Europe, going to a land you have no idea about, you do not know what awaits you there. In this video today, we are going to see how Rwanda has actually taken a position, and the leader also of that country has explained the reason why they've made this move, which has caused a lot of outrage from different quarters. So you can listen to that yourself.
And again, I first had to say what I said, and I bring this because it should be seen in that context of who we are and who we want to be. Because I have seen some people say, you know, that United Kingdom gave us money and then they want to dump people here. No, we don't do that kind of thing. we don't buy and sell people. We can't do that again because of our core values. But I'll tell you what happened, and so that everyone is clear in their minds. In 2018, if many of you may recollect, I was the chair of the African Union. And during that time, so many stories, you know, many young, maybe some of them old Africans were perishing, dying in big numbers in the Mediterranean, being taken through Libya and to many parts of Europe. And I remember reading a story about a Ghanaian young man, an engineer, who happened to be following this path, and there are people, they are smugglers. They have networks who take people from Africa, different parts, and smuggle them into Europe. And that time they were using Libya because of its statelessness. There was confusion, there was no state in control. And in fact, hundreds, if not thousands of them were trapped in Libya in different places in the prisons, starving to death, others abused in all sorts of ways. Some people had started coming, picking some of them and taking them to their countries to use them as slaves. And we were somewhere discussing with some of the leaders, and I was telling them, why don't we address this problem? I said, for example, for me, I am not just going to suggest this theoretically that it can work. I want to even provide an example. I said, let's find ways. If we got all these people trapped in Libya who they can't go back to where they came from, they can't move ahead to Europe where they wanted to go. And I told them, I can assure you, with all our weaknesses and whatever we have in our country, these people, if they were brought to Rwanda, they would live a better life than they are living in Libya, in these prisons. And I said, so if we brought them, then other countries interested in helping in this problem, we can do the following. One, we can ask these people whether they want to go back to where they came from, now that they found themselves mistaken and in a very terrible situation in Libya. They may end up wanting to go back home. Because I had read that story of the Ghanaian I was telling you, who was, for him, he was an educated man, young man, but I think illusioned about. I think he was an engineer, the way I read it, but for some reason he wasn't employed. And so the networks that were smuggling people to Europe took him. And when he was in Libya, he got stuck, he found he was not going forward. So he had paid some amount of money which he got from his parents. You remember the story we were talking about, $800 or $900 we had been paying through to these smugglers. And so he started negotiating with the smugglers to take him back, and he would pay the same amount of, again, same amount of money, which means 1,600 or 1,800. But this time he didn't have it. It would be paid when he got back to Ghana by, I think, his parents. So the smugglers took him back. But this is because he discovered there was no way of continuing to Europe. But even if he had reached Europe, by the way, I'm not sure, maybe what he had in mind he would become or was going to be the case. Maybe he was just going to be the same person as he was in Ghana, even in Europe, wherever he would be. He wasn't going to get that good living now. But anyway, so agreed, if they arrived here, they could easily be taken back home if they choose to go back home. Second, those European countries that have allowed migrants to come to Europe should come and stably select those they want to take to their countries, and that would be still better than these people being trapped in Libya. Then third, we provided another option. We said, for those who can't go back, or don't want to go back for some reason of their own, and may not be selected by the countries that want to absorb them, we are giving them another option. We can actually find ways in which they can stay here. There were these three options in 2018. So I think that's how now this new situation developed, with the UK and others contacting us. It's like they learned from this case and said, can we have people processed here stably instead of being smuggled into our countries and doing this and that? And this time, they are not just going to be Africans. They may be, a number of them Africans. They are going to be other people from other countries. We allowed people from Afghanistan to come here. Even now, they are still students who were brought here, they are still staying with us. I'm saying there are things that have really changed about us. And that's why I'm saying we don't have to learn values from anybody ourselves. We have values in us that we go by. So we can absorb Afghanistan, people from Afghanistan, from wherever, and if they are from Africa, we are even happier because they are like, we take them like family. So when the UK approached us, and because of that problem they have, I think they are smuggling people in these countries, left, right, center, and how to deal with that problem, we are happy to deal with that problem. There is, I understand, Denmark. So there is nothing bad about this. There is nothing we can't be transparent about this. There is nothing. So this is what it is. So, and this is who we are too. So I wanted to clear this, please. We are not, there are things you can't buy about us. Yes. We are who we are, and we are proud people too. We are not, so we are not involved in buying and selling of people, Rwanda and UK, or anybody. No, it's just a problem that people will have different views about it. They look at it differently. They're not happy about it. That's okay. People will have look at, but at the end of the day, you've got to do something.
Immigration is something that is one of the things that Europe comes together when you talk about immigration. Of course, economic-wise, there are different things that happens. It's one of those areas that Europe has really united in different ways. However, immigration is a very important thing that is never going to go away. This topic about people traveling via Libya, coming to Europe, African risking their lives just to come to Europe. I don't understand why they have to go through that route. There are a number of things. We're making such videos to educate people, to let Africans know that passing through this route is not the best solution. This is not going to solve your problem. Europe does not have an answer to all of your problems. Europe has its own challenges. Migrating to Europe, risking your life passing through the desert, through these different routes is not a solution in the 21st century. It is because, as you can see, UK, one of the countries in Europe that have received thousands of refugees over the years, is becoming saturated because there is just no place. But the good thing here is also that it's not only refugees from Africa. Rwanda is talking about receiving refugees from Afghanistan, from all parts all over the world. They will be moved to Rwanda for the visa processing, the immigration processing, so to point out. So once they're accepted, then they can move back to the UK. But this is not going anywhere soon. So as you can hear from the Rwanda's official who traveled to the UK.
While Rwanda says it is ready to welcome the new arrivals.
Many Rwandans have experienced what it means to be displaced. This has shaped how we approach migration and asylum.
Africa offers enormous opportunity for those of you who are planning to travel. Living in your comfort zone, all the amenities and benefits and also the growth and development around you. You can harness that to create an environment for yourself. Now, moving to the UK might not be the solution, or just traveling to Europe might not be a solution. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're trying to sensitize some of the African people who believe that Europe is the solution. Europe offers everything. Now, as you can see, Rwanda may have a very good intention here, but however, as it concerns immigration, which is a very sensitive topic in Europe and around the world, I think that Rwanda has come under fire in this area. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy such videos, let us know. For those of you who are planning to travel to Europe, consider your options. There are a number of things you could do to figure out why Europe shouldn't be the only place you need to go to. You can work out things around you and also see how you can stabilize yourself, love your environment, build your connections around where you are, believe in yourself, and you can also make it in the continent of Africa. I want to thank you for watching The Explorer. Hopefully we've informed you. We encourage you to watch some of our other videos. We are looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.